So when we think about the work-energy theorem in action or with reference to particles and electric fields, remember that when a charged particle moves through an electric field, electric potential energy converts to kinetic energy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to move in that parabolic form to a location on the plate. The work done on the particle equals the change in kinetic energy. Now, it actually equals change in any energy, but when we're talking about that particle moving, that'd be a change in kinetic energy. So typically, we're going to calculate the work using work is equal to change in energy, which our change in electric energy is going to be our volts multiplied by the charge of the particle. Now, like anything moving in the universe, there is going to be a energy transformation, even when it's these small objects like particles. So when a charged particle moves through an electric field, electric potential converts into kinetic energy. The electric field does work on the particle, causing it to accelerate and move faster. It can be positive work or it can be negative work. It just depends on where we're moving that particle to. Now, typically, if we're moving it from an area of high potential to an area of low potential, then there'll be less work being done. Now, when we think about the work-energy theorem, remember that that's equal to the change in energy. In this case, that would be potential energy. Now, because energy is conserved, we know that the change in potential energy or electric potential is equal to the change in kinetic energy. So, that being said, if we started off with 3.20 times 10 to the negative 12 electric potential energy, then that would also be our kinetic energy. Now, sometimes I feel that it helps to draw these out, so I've drawn the two plates here with the field lines pointing, of course, from the positive to the negative, and we're going to place our alpha particle, which is a positively charged particle, perpendicular to the field. And what we know is that it is going to curve towards the negative because of those other perpendicular vectors that are already present via the field lines. Now, in this question, we're looking for the final speed, which we can get if we use the conservation of energy formula. Remember that the potential energy, in this case the electric potential, must equal the kinetic energy of that particle. Now, there's a couple of potential energy formulas that we could use, but given that we're given volts here and the charge, we can use the potential difference formula, which is the change in voltage equals the change in potential energy, which is electric potential, over the charge of the particle. And we could just isolate by multiplying both sides by Q. And that'll give us the electric potential energy. Now we can just expand our original conservation of energy formula to Q times voltage equals half mv squared, and we're going to isolate for the v squared, or the v, I should say, of the alpha particle. So after plugging it into our calculator, we get 1.96 times 10 to the 6 meters per second. Now, this question is an electron deflection question, whereby if I think about two plates here, and I'm just going to draw them roughly. Okay, one of the sides are positive, the other side is negative. So I'll say that this is the negative side, and then here is the positive side. And of course, we have our field lines that are going from the positive to the negative. Now, when an electron enters this uniform field, so let's say I'm just going to make this dot be the electron. Remember that it's going to deflect from, or I should say away from the negative and towards the positive over here. And the distance that it covers, this part here, and I'll do it in a different color, this part, so from where it would land to where it kind of begins, that's the 1.0 times 10 to the negative 2 meters that they're talking about on this plate. So how far does it get deflected until it finally lands on the positive end of the plate? So here's the way that we would solve for this here. They give you the electric field and they give us the speed. Now, there's various formulas for the electric field. We could use this formula here, your change in voltage over your change in distance, but that is not going to get us to the time. If we're thinking about time, well, time often is found through the kinematics equations. So if I'm thinking about it, I want to go from a force to acceleration, and then from acceleration, I want to go to time. So if I'm deciding between which electric field formula, well, here's another one where it's the force, electrostatic force over the charge. And this here leads to the force that we would need. So since I know that this is an electron, I could use the elementary charge that we have for the electron in our data booklet and then isolate for our force. And we'll do that quickly here. Keep in mind here that 1 volt is equal to 1 joule per coulomb, which remember that a joule is also a Newton meters per coulomb. And so if we remove those here and we go Newton times meter per coulomb, and the meters cancel out, then I end up getting newtons per coulomb, and then these coulombs cancel out, and I'm left with newtons. So my electrostatic force here, and I'm going to put a capital E here, that would end up being about 2.4 times 10 to the negative 17 newtons. And then finally, remember we want to go from our force to acceleration to time. Well, your electrostatic force here would be the only force acting on that electron. So that would be equal to the net force, which is equal to mass times acceleration. And again, using the mass of the electron, well, we're going to go, if I go Fe divided by m, that is going to equal to 8. Now I'm going to plug in the mass of the electron and solve for 8. And then finally, once I have A, I can use the kinematics formula. That displacement, or this distance, can be used for this formula here, where we go, we could say that D is equal to VIT plus half AT squared. The initial velocity, since it's being lined up at the plate, the initial velocity is going to be 0. Right, because it's from rest, and then it goes that certain distance across the plate. And then we're going to plug in that distance that they gave us, the 1.0 times 10 to the negative 2. And that's going to be equal to half, and then the A is 2.63 times 10 to the 13 meters per second. And then we're just going to isolate for T, and this would be our final answer here.